the equipment that you're selling to Japan?
Well, yes, there is. The Japanese, of course, have sold glass rods all over the world in enormous quantities, and we have been rather fortunate in selling glass rods to the Japanese. This is because they've made a lot of money selling relatively cheap tackle, and with the proceeds they want to buy the best, and they buy for their own use our tackle.
From the beginning, Hardy's have run their own retail shops, the one in London's Pall Mall being a well-placed bait to catch the tourist fishermen. The staff here say that the genuine Hardy customer doesn't ask the price before buying.
A very, very sophisticated trout.
Perhaps 14s earlier in the season.
Yes. Now the water right now.
They still talk here of the days when a Maharaja would turn up with a dozen servants and buy perhaps 100 rods for his sons. And from abroad, the customers still come to sample the gentlemanly Hardy style.
These are carbide, aren't they?
Yes, yes. You don't use very big flies, do you?
No, no. Mickey fin, maybe a...
Yes. That's like it takes the handle off and shorten it down. It brings it down to equal length.
Yeah, that's much more convenient. You can pack it, and airlines are less likely to break them up.
And the address you'd like to send to it?
230 East 48th Street.
When you mentioned all the bigger fires, they probably do tides in
New York.
The prosperous foreigner can also use another Hardy service. At London's Highgate Ponds, where for a price, Johnny Logan teaches him how to wield his brand new rod.
After you've done the forward cast, pause. Woof, then shoot. That's it. Peel it down low, just peel it up nice from the water. Woof, and suddenly stop the rod at 10 o'clock, and it'll go nice for shooting. That's it. Now, just a wee bit too snatchy there. Do it again. It's a good back cast. Wait for it there, pause. Now forward. Woof. That's it. And remember, watch this forward cast. Watch me. This forward cast, look, comes from 1 o'clock out to there. And I pick up. Zoom. Finish. Woof. Now, in running water, you can get the rod up as high as here as you like, because the current will be pulling against the line. Eh? But, woof.
The rods made at Hardy's factory at Annick were still being manufactured until 1968 by methods that hadn't changed much in 100 years. The old way of making rods by gluing together slivers of bamboo was laborious and expensive in manpower. To bend and rebend a rod by using heat and the craftsman's eye took perhaps as long as half a day. Fiberglass was already being used by competitors abroad. Hardy's decided to try and catch up, to teach their staff the precision process of wrapping the fiberglass around solid steel molds. Plant was brought from the United States and the staff sent over there to learn the new techniques. The challenge was not just to equal other rods on the market, but to add that little bit extra that makes Hardy equipment the most expensive in the world. The plan paid off. In the space of 4 years, export figures were higher than ever before. This year they're up 70% on last year, thanks to such items as the mooching rod, designed for a special kind of salmon fishing in Canada. And besides making and hand finishing their own rods, the glass fibre blanks produced by Hardy's are in demand by other rod makers as their raw material. The fisherman happy to pay 20 or 30 pounds for a rod also wants a superior reel to match. So they make a range of fishing reels hand-turned and made of aluminium for lightness, each one tailored to suit a particular rod. There appear to be more holes than reel when the drilling process is finished. In the trade it's called metal lace. It's the American market that wants reels that are as light as possible and still strong enough to fulfill the salesman's promise of lasting a lifetime. Indeed, the staff still boast of one reel made here for the late King Frederick of Denmark. The reel fell to the bottom of the North Sea. A year later, it was pulled up by a trawler's net, still in working order. Alongside the modern machinery, there's a room where an ancient skill makes use of such material as hairy Mary hackles, feathers from the guinea fowl, Durham Ranger hackles, marabou turkey, seal's fur dyed in 20 colours, and the skins of dead birds. All these are used in the fly dresser's art by Thomas Weatheritt, maker of salmon flies for Hardy's. How long have you been doing this, Mr. Weatheritt?
This will be about 45 years now.
How old were you when you started?
14.
What are you doing now?
This is the black ductor I'm doing. I'm going to put the butter on the black ductor. Spin it on.
How many of those can you make in a day?
About 3 dozen.
Do you have special requests for different size and different pattern hooks?
Yes, this is the biggest size we use from Norway, and that is the smallest.
You've tied some flies from very famous people, you were telling me.
Oh yes, I've tied for Mr. Churchill, the Queen, Maharajas of India.
Apart from hooks disguised as tempting flies, it is surprising how much equipment the intrepid fisherman needs to fool a fish onto his dinner table. And now what you see in this rather chic ensemble is what every fashionable fisherwoman will be wearing during the coming season. These garments were specially designed for Hardy Brothers, and they're made of oiled cotton. As you can see, the jacket and the pants are to match with the thigh-length rubber waders, which are exceedingly warm and certainly what are needed in the cold waters of the stream. This bag that I have here is made of Egyptian cotton, and apparently the Americans are very fond of it for their cameras. But in any case, they're very useful for carrying your fishing tackle. I have one or two things here I want to show you. First of all, this is a water temperature gauge, which I don't know exactly what it's for, but I know every fisherman does. And here is a magnifying glass. Let me just poke it up here. And this is used by people for tying the flies on their cast, which of course is a very delicate operation. And if you are lucky enough to make a big catch, this is what you use to weigh it with, to find out whether you've made a championship catch. Mr. Hardy, do people use all these things when they go fishing?
Oh, indeed they do. They're most important to the art of fishing.
Getting back to business for a moment, what about the common market? Are you making any special efforts to step up your program of exports?
Yes, we are. We've been doing a survey around the common market to find out what they need. We're happy to find that we have already got products very suitable for many of their needs, and we have development going on for further items for the common market.
As a fisherman and a sportsman yourself, you must be very concerned with environmental problems.
We are. We're extremely concerned about it, and we've been preaching this for many years, longer than the politicians have. It's nice to know that it's now become a popular subject for improvement. We've been concerned with this to the extent that in view of the fact that our joining the common market is obviously going to make Britain a playground for Europe, and particularly for fishermen, because there are a great number of fishermen in Europe and they have very poor fishing. They want to come here and fish. We want them to come, of course. So we're concerned with all manner of schemes for improving the fishing here and maintaining the possibility